Hi, my name's James Thomson. I'm the editor at SmartCompany.com.au. I'm joined today by Sue Prestney, who's the principal at MGI Melbourne, and she's also the spokesperson on SME matters for the Institute of Chartered Accountants. Sue, an important thing for business is getting their staffing levels right. What are some of the signals that it's time to bring on a new staff member?
Well, James, simplistically, it's time to bring on a new staff member if it's going to cost you more not to have them than it is to have them. And there could be a couple of reasons why that might be so. And the obvious one is if you've been outsourcing and you're now outsourcing very frequently, so that it would be actually cheaper to have someone on a permanent part-time or full-time basis to replace that contractor.
Give us an example of that in a small business.
Well, the obvious one probably is the bookkeeper, because when a business starts out, they might have a bookkeeper for 1 day a week. It gradually builds up. And if you're finding that you've got a contracted bookkeeper for 5 days a week, it's probably time that you actually employed your own outright.
And what about the feeling that many entrepreneurs get where they're working on the wrong things? You know, they might be spending lots of hours working on the books or something like that when they could be out selling. Is that another good signal? That's
a good signal. That's an opportunity cost. So that if you could be employing someone to do a function cheaper than it's actually costing you in your time, and that time could be better spent on the road selling to customers or developing your product, then that's another indication that employing someone is going to be cheaper than not employing them.
I guess we should say that employing someone's not just about paying their salary. There's a lot of other costs that go into bringing someone on board.
That's right. When you're weighing those cost benefits, you've got to remember that there's recruitment costs, there's training costs, there's work care costs and maybe payroll tax costs eventually, but there are a lot of on costs involved in employing someone. It's not something you do lightly.
Take us through how you make an assessment about getting the right people in place. What are some of the ways you can sort of make sure that your people are performing?
Well, I think not enough is done about setting realistic key performance indicators that actually mean something to the business. And it should all drive down from the strategic plan for the business, because the strategic plan will say, based on our competitive advantages, this is where we want the business to be. And there will be critical success factors coming out of that. And it might be that we're going to win if we put on enough trucks on the road and we're the first delivery of the day, that we have the advantage of being the only people in our space that do on-time deliveries. So then you might drive that down and say, well, we then need to put on an additional deliverer, truck driver, and his key performance indicators might be, you must have all your deliveries done by 9:30 in the morning, because that's the thing that's going to make our business strategically competitive. So for each employee, they need to have a key performance indicator that ultimately derives from where the business needs to go as a whole.
Terrific. It's important to make sure that business plan lives and breathes, I guess.
That too, and to make sure that you've got reporting coming out of your business systems that will track the things that are important.
Terrific. Thank you, Sue.